Hello, I'm Joe Roselle, Director of Elections for Oakland County. And along with my colleagues throughout the state, we put together this training video on how to conduct a hand recount. Recounts are an important part of our election process. A hand recount is essentially a check against the machine count from election day. This video will hopefully provide you with the training you need to assist us with this recount. However, if at any time you have questions about the content in this video, please contact your county clerk. They will be able to assist you. We wish you the best of luck in the upcoming recount, and we thank you for your participation. The materials used in this training tape are purely fictitious. The ballots, materials are all used for purposes of demonstration only. Each recount table will have 2 recount team members. These 2 individuals will work together in making a determination as to which candidate received a valid vote on the ballot, and then sorting that ballot into the appropriate pile. It's important that during the recount, conversation be kept to a minimum, and that the recount team only be conversing relative to which candidate on the ballot is receiving that vote. Challengers and others present at the table will only be permitted to speak when they are making a challenge. Each candidate may also have a challenger present at the table. These individuals representing each of the candidates on the ballot may actually make a challenge as to the recount team's decision as to the valid vote. If that occurs, the recount team members will raise the red "Assistance Needed" placard, and a member of the county recount staff will come over with a challenge ballot envelope and assist you in the completion of that envelope. That envelope will be set aside for later determination by the County Board of Canvassers. Also present at the table could be observers. These individuals, also representing each of the candidates, may be present to observe the recount. However, unlike a challenger, they cannot actually challenge a decision of the recount team. Each recount table will have a series of supplies that you will use to assist you in completing the recount. The first thing that you'll notice on each table is a placard for each of the presidential candidates, as well as a placard labeled as Other. Each placard for a presidential candidate is color-coded to correspond to the challenger or observer representing that candidate at your table. The Other placard will be used for valid write-in candidates or ballots that are blank in the presidential race. You'll also notice on the table that we have placards for when assistance is needed, as well as when your precinct is complete. Sort Quick and rubber thumbs are available to assist you in sorting and counting the various ballots. Scissors and wire cutters are available to assist you in breaking open each ballot container seal. We also have a recount reminder sheet, as well as a sheet for determining the validity of optical scan marks. Lastly, we have a sheet of valid presidential write-in candidates. This sheet will be referred to in determining an invalid overvote in the presidential race caused by an invalid write-in candidate. Throughout the state of Michigan, there are various ballot containers used by the city and township clerks. This particular example is a canvas bag. The recount team will be performing a 3-step process relative to determining whether or not this particular precinct is recountable. The first thing that the recount team will do is make sure that the bag is sealed properly. They'll make sure that the bag is zipped up and sealed securely, and the seal is not broken. They'll also examine the bag to make sure that there are no rips or tears that an individual could put ballots in or remove ballots from the container. Once the team has determined that the ballot container is sealed properly and securely, they will then begin the process of comparing the number on the seal against the number on the ballot container certificate against the number recorded in the poll book. This three-step process is critical in determining that the precinct is recountable. There are a number of other ballot containers that you may see during your recount. It's important to note that whenever a ball metal seal is used, that a black horseshoe is also used to ensure that the container is properly sealed. In this instance, because the black horseshoe is used, the lid on this container cannot be opened. On this container, referred to as a blue double-door container, it's important to note that both seal doors must be closed and sealed properly.
In the event that a seal number does not match across any of the 3 points, raise your assistance needed placard, and a member of the county staff will come over to assist. A precinct may still be recountable if the seal number on the actual seal matches what is recorded in the poll book, but may not match what's recorded on their certificate. That determination will be made by a member of the county staff.
The members of the recount team will begin to perform their three-step check of the ballot container. The members of the recount team will begin by examining the ballot bag to make sure that the bag is properly sealed and that there are no rips or tears in the ballot bag that could allow ballots to be inserted or removed from the container. After that first check is done, the two workers will then begin the process of making sure that the seal has not been broken and that the seal is properly placed on the ballot container. Next, the two workers working together will compare the ballot number on the seal with the ballot number on the certificate with the ballot number recorded in the poll book.
000-35905. Correct.
As you can see during this process, the challengers and observers are observing and witnessing the ballot container seal comparison. Once it's in agreement that those three numbers match, one of the recount team members will cut the seal on the ballot container. Once the seal has been removed, the recount team will unzip the bag. You may place the seal that you cut from the ballot container inside the bag. At this point, the members of the recount team will remove the contents of the ballot bag. Within the ballot bag, you will find voted ballots, as well as unused, unvoted ballots, which may still be in the shrink wrap and will likely still contain the ballot stubs. You may also find within the ballot container a spoiled ballot envelope, which will be used if necessary. The shrink wrap ballots and those containing stubs may be placed back into the ballot bag once you verified that they are unused. You will now begin the process of the physical count of the voted ballots to determine if it matches the number of voters listed in the poll book. We're recommending that the ballots be counted into stacks of 25 and crisscrossed for easier recounting if necessary. The recount team now has begun the process of counting the ballots into stacks of 25. One member is counting and placing the ballot in front of the other team member. Once they get to 25, that team member will then crisscross the stack for the next stack of 25. Once all the ballots have been counted into stacks of 25, those stacks will be counted to determine the number of ballots in the ballot container. If that number matches, as well as the seal number and the ballot container being sealed properly, this precinct is deemed recountable, and you can begin the hand counting process of sorting and counting each of the ballots. If this number does not match, the recount team members are permitted with one additional opportunity to go through the counting process to determine if the number matches. If, after 2 counts, the number does not match, you'll need to raise your red assistance needed placard. This precinct may not be recountable. The recount team members now are counting the stacks of 25 ballots and any ballots that did not get into a stack of 25 because they were less than 25. Once each stack of 25 is counted and any loose ballots not making up 25 are added together, they will be compared to the number of voters listed in the poll book. In this instance, the number matches. This precinct is deemed recountable.
Ballot 1. Recount teams should always look to the presidential contest first for a vote. If a vote is present, in this case for Jill Stein, place the ballot in the Stein pile. Ballot 2. Recount teams should always look to the presidential contest first for a vote. If a vote is present, in this case for Gary Johnson, place the ballot in the Johnson pile. Ignore any vote in the straight party race in this example, as it was overridden by the voter casting a ballot directly in the presidential contest. Ballot 3. Recount teams should always look to the presidential contest first for a vote. If a vote is present, in this case for the write-in Mickey Mouse, check the list of valid write-ins to see if the vote is valid. If it's not a valid write-in, honor the straight party vote. In this instance, it's a vote for Hillary Clinton. Ballot 4. Recount teams should always look to the presidential contest first for a vote. If there is no vote present, look to the straight party contest. In this instance, it's a vote for Hillary Clinton. Ballot 5. Recount teams should always look to the presidential contest first for a vote. If a vote is present, in this case for Donald Trump, place the ballot in the Trump pile. Ignore any vote in the straight party race in this example, as it was overridden by the voter casting a ballot directly in the presidential contest.
After the ballots have been counted into stacks of 25 and the number matches, the ballots will then be placed into a single pile and the ballots will begin to be placed with the various candidates. As you can see here, the recount team members, being watched by challengers and observers, are holding up the ballot, audibly announcing who the vote is for, and placing the ballot in the appropriate candidate pile. Once all of the ballots have been sorted into the appropriate candidate piles, each pile will then be counted and the number of votes logged for that candidate. After all of the ballots have been counted into the various candidate piles, the recount team members will begin counting each candidate pile into stacks of 25. After an individual candidate's pile is stacked into groups of 25, that candidate's pile will be counted down and the total number of votes logged on the recount team checklist. Once all candidate piles have been counted into stacks of 25 and logged on the candidate checklist, both recount team members will sign off on the checklist and that precinct's hand count is complete. Challengers are an important part of the recount process. During the counting of the ballots, a challenger may make a challenge to a decision that the recount team has made. If that occurs, raise the red assistance needed placard. A county election official will come over with a challenge ballot envelope. The county election official will assist in the preparation of the challenge ballot envelope. The challenger will need to sign the challenge ballot envelope as the one officially making the challenge. The ballot will be placed inside the envelope by the county election official, and a red paper seal will be placed over the flap of the manila envelope. The challenge ballot envelope will be removed from the processing table for subsequent determination by the Board of County Canvassers. After all ballots have been counted, the ballots will be placed back into a single pile, and then those ballots placed inside the ballot container. The ballot container will then need to be resealed. The members of the recount team will close the ballot container and update the seal number on the ballot container certificate. This can be done by simply crossing off the old number and recording the number of the new seal and placing the recount team members' initials next to the new seal number. That seal number will also be recorded on the recount checklist and the poll book. Once the members have finished completing the new seal number in the poll book and the precinct recountability checklist, they will hold up the green placard indicating to the county election staff that the precinct is complete. On behalf of Oakland County and my colleagues from around the state who participated in today's video, we thank you for your participation in this recount. The process does not work without you. If you have questions after watching this training video, please contact your county clerk in the county where you'll be working. They can assist you with any questions. Thank you and good luck.